Hey, what's up, everybody? Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and a whole lot of black people in the black news community are coming after Gayle. What's her name? Gayle King. And Oprah Winfrey. Now, remember, it was about 2 weeks ago. I think maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that Oprah Winfrey, remember, she was getting ready to do a hit piece on Russell Simmons. Remember that? The black community is finally starting to catch on that Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, and these people on these news stations are nothing but shields for the Me Too movement and for the liberal Democrats to attack the men. Okay? When they started this Me Too movement, the only people that went to jail were black. Okay? Because they was going to... Oprah Winfrey was doing some hit pieces on, what's my man named? Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's in prison. See, I've been talking about this. And now it's starting to come home to roost. Okay? But these liberal people, these are the racists. And black people are starting to see that it's not Donald Trump and the Republicans that are racist. It's these Democrats that have always been racist. This is the party of the Ku Klux Klan. It really is. They started the Ku Klux Klan. They were the ones who started. And they are the ones who what y'all call the white supremacists. These are the haters. Yeah, but anyway, I don't support Snoop Dogg. I don't support what he does. I don't support his gospel album or nothing like that. But I will support the fact that he came out hard against Gayle King when she started asking questions about Kobe Bryant in this interview with Lisa Leslie. And I'm going to go ahead and give Lisa props. She handled herself with class. She's always been like that. Lisa Leslie, although she played in the NBA, which is nothing but an LGBT league, she handled herself like a lady. She's always been a lady, and she handled herself with class. And Gayle King was going in after Kobe Bryant. Gayle King should have never brought up Kobe. See, because this is what the Democrats do. Like this impeachment, it was an impeachment based on no evidence, no crime, just based on the words of a person who is a so-called victim. But when it's time to prove it, they can't prove it. All they wanted to do was put a smear, a mark, a stain on your name. And that's what Nancy Pelosi is saying. Oh, that impeachment will always be a stain. It is a stain forever. They just want to hurt you. They want to hurt your name. And this evidence with Kobe Bryant and that girl, when the evidence started coming out, that this girl had the semen of 4 or 5, 7 or 8, I think it was, the semen of several men in her underwear, and none of them were Kobe's. They shut the case down. They shut the case down because they didn't want to bring an embarrassment on that community where that girl is from, because there was also some people lined up from her school saying that she was bragging about her interaction with Kobe Bryant and how she said she was going to get some money out of it. Okay? So that's why she refused to testify, because they had the goods on her. But the media is not going to tell you that. And Gayle King didn't bring that up either. The black community should rebuke these people and kick them out of the conversation altogether. Don't believe anything they have to say. Because what Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent and the black community is asking is Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King all hugged up with a rapist and a pedophile? His name is Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein. He's a rapist and a pedophile. Oprah Winfrey even brought men over to the man. I mean, women. She hustled women over to the man for him to rape them. But they haven't done any interesting interviews on them. Gayle King, remember, whenever they want to do a hit piece on somebody, when somebody want to go to jail, it's always a black man. So they did something on R. Kelly. I'm not for R. Kelly. I said I didn't like his music. I don't like him. I don't like what he did to the little girls and stuff like that. But why is Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey the ones always sent out to interview the black man when you have people like Matt Lauer? Matt Lauer, that's a guy from that morning show on NBC or ABC, CBS, who was raping women in his office right there on the studio, and everybody knew what type of man he was. This man would have women come into his office. He had a button where he would lock the door from his desk and rape the women. And they knew what was going on in there. That man ain't spent one day in jail, not one night, not nothing. Did Oprah or Gayle go over and interview him? Anybody connected to him? No. So Kobe recently died. And with his death, a lot of people are hurting because a lot of people liked Kobe. Kobe was a likable guy. He wasn't a thug. He wasn't like one of those aggressive men. He was just a nice, cool guy who was, from all appearances, was a nice family man. He was grooming his daughter to step in his shoes and play basketball. So he was a family man. He had a discrepancy. He made a mistake. Okay? But I don't see no record of him sleeping around with women after that. He made a mistake. His wife forgave him, and that's the most important thing. And that's what I say about Donald Trump. People talk about stuff he did 20 years ago and 10 years ago. Well, give people a second chance. Are they doing that now? Does it seem like they've repented? Well, I didn't hold that against Kobe. Once I saw that his wife forgave him and he's moving on and he's not continuing on in that path, hey, give people a chance to live. Jeez. You know, people make mistakes. People are going to make bad decisions. They're going to make bad decisions. They're going to do that. That's what people do. But if they continue on to be that person, well, then that's who they are. They're a rapist, and that's. But Kobe didn't continue on in that path. There was something that Gayle said in an interview, something about, because Lisa told her, well, let's just let that be. That's over. That was the past. And she said that it was acquitted. And Gayle just kept on going. She said something about that's who Kobe was. Is that who Kobe? That's who Kobe was. You saying that he had these type of cases and allegations against him his whole career, his whole life? That was one allegation. One. And how long ago was that? And that was one woman, which it wouldn't have stand up under scrutiny and under questioning and under cross-examination, and that's why the girl backed out of it. Okay? The evidence shows that girl was very promiscuous and that she had the semen of other men in her panties and in her underwear. And so, no, she wasn't a credible witness. There was other people that said that she was telling them at her school how Kobe was. She described his anatomy, all of that, and how she enjoyed it and how she's planning on making some money off of this. Okay, that's that. Okay? The man died, and he died just recently. He died with his daughter. He died with other people on that helicopter. For her to even bring the question up is totally out of bounds. And the black community is raining down fire on her. They're raining down fire on her like crazy. And they're raining down fire on Oprah Winfrey too. Because Oprah Winfrey was she had to back out of an interview that she was getting ready to do on Russell Simmons, because the black community is starting to become one now. They're starting to see that this Democrat Party and those who support the Democrats are all together one thing. Harvey Weinstein, who does he support? Who does he make donations to? The Democrat Party. And who specifically? Hillary Clinton, Obama. These are the type of people that Hillary Clinton and Obama them and Oprah them run with. They run with pedophiles. They run with rapists. These are the type of people they run with. But then they get up on the mic, Nancy Pelosi and all them, and pretend to be holier than thou. Prayerful, considerate, solemn people who are serious about the things of the Lord, but they are far from it. They're hypocrites. They're pedophiles. They're blood drinkers. They worship Satan. And they want to remove all similitudes or semblances of God. In God we trust off the money. God in the courtroom. They want to take all of that stuff away. Because that's who they are. And that's what they do. That's right. That's what they do. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah. I saw also where Susan Rice tweeted to Snoop Dogg. See, because Gayle she's hurting right now. Her credibility is shot. And those people on CNN like Angela Rye and what was it, Van Jones and all of them, they are paid to keep the black community tied to the Democrat Party. That's their job. And their credibility with the black community is of the utmost importance. And when they lose that credibility, they just lose it because they know that they're paid by the Democrat Party to keep black folks on that Democrat plantation. Okay? And when you lose your street cred with the black folk, they ain't listening to you no more. They're done. They're done with you. And so Susan Rice, who was a security advisor to President Obama, Susan Rice, the one who lied about Benghazi and all of that stuff, she lied about the attack on Benghazi, saying that the Muslims killed Americans over there in that embassy because there was a cartoon about a Muslim, and that's why they got upset, and that was not true. So Susan Rice told Snoop Dogg to back the blank up. F word. F word, back the F word up off of Gayle. She said, because there's a whole army of us. These are the Democrats. These are the ones. They're showing you. See, they're showing you who they really are. They will stick together even though the person is wrong. Even though the person is wrong, the person needs to apologize, which she didn't apologize. Gayle didn't apologize. She tried to blame it on CBS for showing the wrong clip. Well, anyway, the interview was only 5 minutes. And the clip that they showed was 3.5 minutes. So that means there was only 1.5 minutes left in the interview that she did with Lisa Leslie. So the whole interview, which is probably about 75% of the interview, you talk negatively about Kobe, and people had a right to get upset with you because the man recently passed away and the case was never proven. Unlike Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez, the guy who played football and who turned out to be a gay guy, he hung himself in his prison cell. He was having sexual relations with a man in there, but he murdered a man and he had gone to trial and they found him guilty of it. Okay? But are they asking about that? No, they don't ask about that kind of stuff. Did they ask Oprah about John of God, the man that she saw as a faith healer, and the man, he was selling babies, selling infants, he was raping kids, he was sex trafficking, and he was arrested? Or is she going out there interviewing him or people around him? This was her buddy, okay? But they only interview the black folks to make the black people look bad, okay? But they don't attack none of the white people. Matt Lauer, okay? What's the situation with him? Where are the women that he raped? And they came out and said he raped them. Everybody knew that Matt Lauer had a sexual addiction and a problem with raping women. They knew that. They all knew that. Why isn't he in jail? Why isn't Harvey Weinstein in jail for having sex with underage kids, little kids? Why isn't he in jail for having sex, forcible sex with these women that he promised a chance to be in a movie? Okay? So that's what that is. That's what that is. And I'm glad that black people are starting to see that it's the Democrat Party, it's these liberals, any movement that they come up with, Me Too movement. They come up with a Me Too movement, blacks are the ones to suffer. And I'm not one of those pro-black people, but I'm just saying, if y'all want to talk about the racism, the supposed racism of Donald Trump, let's see where the real racism is coming from. Let's see where the real bombs and attacks are coming from. Are they coming from Donald Trump? Or are they coming from people in your own party? People who support your own party. Okay? There's a guy out there in LA who was recently arrested for black men being killed and dying of overdoses in his apartment. I forget his name. But they was pulling dead bodies of gay black men out of his apartment because he'd bring them in there and kill them. And this is a guy who contributed to the Democrat Party, and they covered it up for years until there's 2 more victims. Now, 2 more black people died unnecessarily because the Democrat media and the Democrat Party that was receiving donations from this rich man covered it up. That's the way they do it. That's the way they do it, folks. Okay? So yeah, they had a right to bust up Gayle. And she didn't even apologize. She didn't apologize. And you're going to notice how the Democrats they're going to protect her. You know, they're not going to rebuke her. She won't be rebuked for that. They're going to talk about, oh, she's a journalist. Is this something she have to do? Well, if she's a journalist, why isn't she interviewing Harvey Weinstein? You're a journalist. Where is Matt Lauer? You're a journalist. Where is John of God? You're a lawyer. Where is these people who are raping and murdering these kids? Why not interview Hillary Clinton and ask her, well, what do you think of John of God going to jail? What do you think of the situation with Harvey Weinstein, who's donated, hundreds of thousands to your campaign? Do you feel like giving the money back? Do you think you should give that money back to a person so vile and so evil and so wicked as to rape kids or rape women? You're talking about you're the party that protect women. Why aren't you standing with the women? Give the man the money back. Okay? Oprah, why don't you apologize for taking pictures with a rapist like Harvey Weinstein? Smiling and kissing up on the man. Why don't you apologize to the women that you took to the man for them to rape her, for them to be raped? So that's my take on the whole thing. That's my take on the whole thing, man. They need to cut it out. And black people are right. There's a whole lot of those people like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. What's that boy's name? The one that looked like an owl. I always just say, he looks like an owl. What's his name? He's on that. He looks like an owl. They want to keep black people tied to the party that has historically harmed us. This is the Democrat Party that started the KKK, that came with the Jim Crow, that came with Planned Parenthood and abortions in the black community. This is the party, and they're keeping us tied to that. They're Democrat people right now. They're front runners. Buttigieg, he's gay. Bernie Sanders, okay, who is a socialist. All right. What's her name? Forget her name. Elizabeth Warren. All of them are talking about giving benefits away, free health care, housing, all types of benefits. They're giving them criminal immunity to illegals. They're not talking about, listen to them. You supporting them? Are they talking about what they can do for you as a black people? Are they apologizing for all the years of your loyal and faithful vote? You voted for them loyally every year. You got out of church. You got on the church bus. Your pastor got you on the bus to vote for these Democrats. What have they done for you? Have they apologized for neglecting you? Have they? No, they know you're going to vote again. They know they're going to get your vote again. But they're talking about giving away stuff to folks who don't belong here instead of giving away stuff to citizens, legal citizens. They're going to give them criminal immunity. But your folks, our uncles and aunts and American citizens here was arrested and given 20 years in prison over some crack behind the super predator bill of the Clintons and the Democrats. The super predator bill was a bill to attack black men and black families. And Hillary Clinton said that this bill is going to bring them to heal. That's not like healing like a wound, but healing like a dog, like an animal. I'm going to train you. I'm going to beat you into submission until you heal. That's what Hillary said. Just look up the clip. Just say on YouTube, Hillary Clinton bringing black people to heal. And you'll see it come out, the words come out of her own mouth. It's the Democrats who are racist. It's the Democrats that when they create something and it sounds like it's going to help you, it's actually designed to hurt you. Planned Parenthood. Don't that sound good? But that's designed to force those black women into there, and they coerce them into giving up their child. Because Planned Parenthood was started by Margaret Sanger, who was a racist, and said that she didn't want to tolerate, and the earth and America could not afford to have these weeds around here, which was black babies. Okay? And that's why the Democrat Party is so much behind Planned Parenthood. They got a new bill coming out. It's very dangerous, and I want you to look out for this. It's called the New Way Forward Act. The New Way Forward Act would give illegals immunity. They would give them better positionings in America than us citizens. They would commit crimes, and we would pay for it. They would get sent back to Mexico, and we would pay for their flight to come back. It's a whole lot in this thing. And also, they also tied the LGBT into it. That if one of those people come over here illegally and they are LGBT and they declare that they are a transgender, we cannot force them to go back. It's called the New Way Forward Act. Tell your senator, call right now and tell them that you want them to vote against the New Way Forward Act. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it.